Good evening, ladies. Jane, as always, your food was excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Jim. I'm glad you liked it.
Take care of yourself, okay? Don't work too much.
You saw that, right? Stop it, Sophie.
Why should I? He's a good man, has his own business, stands on solid ground. And he respects you. He likes you a lot. Jane, honestly, aren't you tired of being alone all these years? Since your husband left, it's been, what, 15 years?
16. George was 4 when he left. Now he's 20.
And you've been working non-stop. I know you do it for your child, but don't you deserve some rest too?
How can I rest? Expenses pile up, his studies are demanding. Architecture isn't cheap. Every month, he needs drafting tools, paints, models.
And you sacrifice everything so he can succeed.
I don't mind. He's a good kid, never asks for much. But I see how he looks at the other students, the ones who don't worry about money, who live more comfortably. And I wonder, am I being unfair to him?
You're not being unfair. You're raising him right. But Jane, what about you? Mr. Jim looks at you in a way that, well, you know.
This isn't the time for such things. George is my priority.
George is growing up, and you deserve to rebuild your life too. And where is George now?
Where else? At his university. My little bird doesn't trouble me at all. Just think, he's paying his own way through school on scholarship, having been among the top entrants in architecture.
Well done, my dear. You should be proud of him.
May he stay well.
Galaxy Cafe bubbled with laughter, music, and conversations whose intensity far exceeded what their mundane topics warranted. Yours truly, George Chrysaphis, her little bird, hunched over my binder clip folder at my usual corner table, trying to focus. My pen hovered over the blank page like a satellite out of fuel. My mind? Well, that had been orbiting the far side of the room for the past hour. Lisa laughed at something one of her friends said, her golden hair shining so brightly in the sunlight that I briefly wondered if I needed sunglasses. There was a magnetism to her presence, something that made the room revolve around her like she was the center of the universe. To me, she wasn't just beautiful, she was untouchable, a lighthouse of confidence in a sea of ordinary mortals. And of course, she remained completely oblivious to my existence. I glanced down at myself, an old t-shirt, jeans that had probably shrunk in the wash. Or maybe I just grew taller? Yeah, right. And sneakers whose soles were fighting a losing battle for survival. Obviously, a girl like Lisa wouldn't spare a glance for someone like me. I scooted my chair back a little further, trying to fold into myself as much as possible. Lisa glowed with confidence. Me? If I were a color, I'd be beiged.
You okay, George?
Bill, one of the few classmates who tolerated my existence, smirked like he'd just uncovered state secrets. Lisa again, huh? You've got that creepy stalker stare going on. I'm not staring, I lied, my grip on my pen threatening to snap it in half. I'm just studying human anatomy. For architecture, obviously. Sure, buddy, Bill snorted. Good luck with that. She's into guys like Danny, tall, athletic, and financially stable. You know, the opposite of you. The word stung. But it wasn't just Danny, the basketball prodigy / Adonis hybrid, who made Lisa seem light years out of reach. It was my entire life's aesthetic. Dad vanished when I was 4. Like a magician, but with less applause. Mom? Worked diner shifts so long the regulars thought she was part of the furniture. Budget? Luxuries meant not reusing tea bags. Lisa stood to leave, her golden hair catching the light like a shampoo commercial. She didn't even glance my way, which was fair, since I basically blended into the walls like human wallpaper. I watched her go, my chest doing that weird squeeze thing. 50% longing, 50% indigestion. Maybe she didn't know my name. Or worse, maybe she did. But then, the master plan flickered in my brain. Last Saturday, at the Strangers concert, Lisa had practically glowed when the guitarist shredded his solo. Bingo. Her kryptonite wasn't just confidence or biceps, it was musicians. I peeked at the flyer in my folder, a crimson electric guitar, identical to the one owned by Danny, my neighbor, nemesis, an overall life ruiner. Secret weapon? I'd been secretly practicing for years on my dad's old acoustic, my emotional support object. Now, it might actually be useful. Problem? Guitars cost more than my entire wardrobe, which, granted, was just 3 shirts and hope. My wallet held half the amount. Solution: more odd jobs. Read: becoming the neighborhood's unpaid errand gremlin. Lisa wasn't just a girl. She was a supernova, outshining mere mortals like me, and hey, wouldn't cut it. I needed a grand gesture. A way to turn invisible into unignorable. Or, at least into that weird guy with the guitar.
5 p.m., Friday before a long weekend. That sacred hour when architecture students ugly cry with relief. 2 hours of perspective geometry was basically a holiday gift. The sun shone with suspicious optimism as I marched home, master plan in mind. 1. Survive lecture. 2. Collapse on bed. 3. Fantasize about Lisa in 4K. The moment I stepped onto the cobblestone courtyard, aka the path of doom, I heard my name called. The voice hit me like an alarm clock set to mortifying childhood memory. There she was, my first-floor neighbor, Anna, draped over her balcony railing like a telenovela star mid-cliffhanger. Meanwhile, I stood frozen, fingers absently picking at what might have been the same t-shirt I'd worn since Tuesday. He motioned for me to wait and then vaulted down the stairs with the grace of someone who definitely didn't still have bedhead. I, on the other hand, looked like I'd been styled by a sleep-deprived raccoon. Anna's outfit, that infamous grey sweater that clung just enough to suggest she owned exactly one bra and it was currently on vacation, should have been illegal. The way it dipped when she laughed, a public menace. Before I could muster my pre-rehearsed witticism, something brilliant like, "I'm awake, I swear," she'd materialized beside me, her energy hitting like a caffeine overdose. The contrast was cruel, her in that effortlessly cool sweater, me in what could legally be classified as a fabric crime.
Morning, George. You look like someone cancelled Netflix.
Morning. This isn't the same shirt, it's a collection.
I heard your guitar serenade last night. Were you practicing or sending SOS signals?
It was ambient studying noise.
Liar. Anyway, emergency. My brother's band needs an audience tonight. Free drinks if you clap loud enough to cover their mistakes.
What's the catch?
The snacks are just peanuts from 2018. But Lisa's coming.
I have laundry.
Your laundry can wait. This is your chance to not be boring. B. Play hero when the guitarist quits mid-show. C. Accidentally impress Lisa when you save the night.
So, we're going together? I asked, immediately wishing I could swallow the words back. My voice cracked on together, making it sound like an accusation.
Yeah, unless you'd rather stay home watching architectural blueprints for fun.
I've got exams, I blurted out. The lie tasted like stale coffee. My last exam had been 2 weeks ago, unless you counted my daily test of how long can I stare at Lisa's Instagram before my phone dies. Anna's eyebrow arched.
On a Friday night, what are you studying? Advanced hermetology.
It's a makeup exam, I said, scrambling. 4. Perspective geometry. Even as the words left my mouth, I knew she wasn't buying it. The way her sweater sleeve slipped off her shoulder felt like a visual eye roll. Anna's smile didn't reach her eyes this time.
Right, well, good luck with that. Her gaze darkened as she saw me in the mood to leave. Right, well, good luck with that. And one more thing about tonight. Danny from your class is coming. He said Lisa might show up too.
My stomach did that thing where it tries to become a black hole. Danny, guitarist Danny, I only play original compositions, Danny. Anna smiled, triumphant.
The one and only. He's bringing his 12-string.
12 strings are overcompensation, I muttered.
So is pretending to have exams, last chance, George.
The words hung between us like a skipped heartbeat. For a second, the universe paused, wind holding its breath, sunlight catching the dust motes mid-fall. Anna stood perfectly still, that damn sweater sleeve slipping off her shoulder again, a tactical distraction, I swear. Then I did it, the great George Chris special, turn and bolt. Behind me, I heard, 1. A quiet sigh, the disappointed kind mom's perfect, 2. One resigned shuffle of sneakers on concrete. 3. The unmistakable sound of someone deleting your number from their phone. I didn't look back, but my traitorous brain replayed it anyway. Her fingers tightening on the railing. That single strand of hair escaping her bun. The exact moment her smile collapsed into something I'd dream about in 4K for weeks. Epilogue. Distance walked, 12 steps. Dignity intact, 0%. Regret loading, 100%. Later, in my room, 10:07 p.m. Convinced myself I made the right choice. 10:12 p.m. Realized Danny probably knows more than 4 chords. 10:15 p.m. Discovered Anna unfollowed me on Instagram. 10:16 p.m. Rationalized it was for the best. 10:17 p.m. Lie, next episode teaser. George will see Anna at the party with someone else. Spoiler. It's her brother, but his drama llama brain won't process that. He'll say, "I don't even care," while sobbing into ice cream. Ben and Jerry's chunky rejection flavor. He'll write a guitar ballad so cringe, even his wall will develop second-hand embarrassment. You know that feeling when you're walking to class, but your brain is already planning your escape route. Yeah, that was me. Backpack slung over one shoulder, hands in my pockets. Classic, I'm totally prepared for today, look. Spoiler, I wasn't. As I entered the university grounds, I mentally checked my to-do list. 1. Attend class. Mayor. 2. Avoid making a fool of myself. Unlikely. 3. Maybe, just maybe, talk to Lisa. Not a chance. I was just about to slip into the background like a professional introvert when, boom, I stumbled upon a group of my classmates deep in conversation. My survival instincts told me to walk away, but curiosity had other plans.
Dude, did you hear? The strangers lost the guitarist.
No way, what happened?
The guy got drafted. He's wearing army boots now instead of Converse.
Whoa, that's rough. One day you're rocking a solo, the next you're marching in formation.
So, they're holding auditions. Tonight, at the local cinema theater.
That's gonna be crazy. Imagine getting in. The strangers are huge around here.
Huh, that's cool.
So let me get this straight. The biggest band in town was suddenly missing a guitarist. And auditions were happening tonight. I did the only logical thing a socially awkward guy could do. I stood there, nodded like I totally belonged in this conversation, and internally screamed. Ladies and gentlemen, gather round for the tale of how I, George the unfinancially responsible, successfully guilt-tripped my mother into funding my midlife crisis at 19. After 2 weeks of strategic whining, including a PowerPoint titled, "Why Buying This Guitar is Cheaper Than My Future Therapy," I finally cracked her. The deal, she'd toss in $50 if I, 1. Stopped, accidentally, buying milk I never drink, turns to imaginary mom, but calcium, mom. 2. Banned, luxury, ketchup on my spaghetti, gasps, that's culinary blasphemy. 3. Showered in under 15 minutes, muttering, what am I, a Navy SEAL? Oh, and I may have promised my scholarship money would repay her, despite it currently being as mythical as my dating life. But the masterstroke, convincing her to come here today, points to shop door, lowers voice, watch as I, a mere mortal, attempt to justify why this, air quotes, priceless diamond, aka a hunk of wood with strings, deserves her hard-earned cash. Spoiler, it involves extensive air guitaring and zero actual talent. God help us both. That's it, my one-way ticket out of socially awkwardville. God, I sound like a Disney Channel villain. But look at that gloss. That's the sheen of future regret.
€500. Son, did you wander into the "I own a yacht" section by accident?
Mom, if I owned a yacht, I'd be on the yacht, playing this guitar on it.
And how exactly will you pay for this ticket? With the stocks you don't own or the savings you blew on Steam sales?
Ah, a young man with taste. This beauty sings like a choir of angels.
If angels screamed into a distortion pedal while their rent was due.
Funny, why is the Aegean Sound Labs logo held on with double-sided tape? Is this a demo model?
That's a limited edition for discerning collectors.
Stop enabling him. I've seen more honest pricing at used car lots. What's your actual cost from the workshop?
Mom, we're getting banned from every music store in the city.
Exactly. That's why we're going straight to the source. Come on, kiddo. Thanks for your time.
I throw a last glance at the guitar like it's my dying pet. This isn't goodbye, it's see you after I pawn my PlayStation. 10 minutes later, we stood in a guitar workshop that smelled like wood shavings and broken dreams. Unlike those fancy music stores with the "Try Me" stickers, this place radiated 2 vibes, handmade with love, and probably a fire hazard. And I was whispering to Mom, running fingers over a guitar's body. See these dents? Real musicians played these, not just trust fund kids posing for TikTok.
Ah, you've got good taste. That one's mahogany. Sustains notes like a dream.
Says here it's a prototype. Is that code for half finished?
More like, uniquely customizable. We could even engrave your name.
Phone rings with the urgency of a tornado siren. Mr. Jim's smile vanishes as he listens. His eyes dart between us like we're wanted criminals. Then he is hanging up, stepping back.
Sorry, new price is €450. If you want, I can let you have this cracked one for 400.
Since when do prices change in 30 seconds? That was Hector's music. If I sell to you, they'll cut off my supplier.
Then we'll go straight to your competitor.
Mom, that was the competitor. We're in a guitar mafia war.
Exactly. And you too, you're the collateral damage.
The next minute I was dragging Mom toward the exit as she was glaring over her shoulder. The door jingled like a funeral bell. As we fled, I glanced back at my Crimson Dream guitar. It seemed to whisper, "You'll own me when you stop being a walking disaster." Fair, my mother tried to comfort me by saying,
"We'll look elsewhere, George."
Mom's words hang in the air like a deflated balloon. I don't answer, just stare at my sneakers, the same ones with soles thinner than my patience for people named Danny.
That night, sprawled like a corpse on the narrow bed, I traced a crack in the ceiling that mirrored my career, starting bold and vanishing into nothingness. The strangers were already playing without me, and Danny's grin, that bite mark of a smile, glowed on social media, mocking me from every screen. Time waited for no one, especially not me, especially not the $180 still needed for an electric guitar I wouldn't be ashamed to put on stage. If I saved until year's end, I'd have the guitar, but no Lisa left to hear it. I pulled my hair. Granddad used to say the sea hits hardest those who force their way in. Now I understood. I was the fool getting smashed against the rocks. Next morning, I stumbled outside with a weight on my chest like I'd swallowed the whole sea. And then I remembered old Mr. Antonis from the guitar workshop, his words still ringing in my skull like funeral bells.
George, your deposit won't even cover her pickups. If you want that guitar, you'll need to double your money. And fast.
I hung up. I knew the numbers. A Fender Stratocaster costs more than 6 months' wages. And me, all I had was this old acoustic, its strings whimpering every time I struck them. And there I stood, my hands calloused from strings, my heart calloused from dreams that kept stretching just out of reach. But you know something, sometimes, when you think you've lost it all, life reminds you there's still one note left to play. One note that might change everything. Then I heard her.
George.
Anna stood with grocery bags, one pocket bulging with currants, sodas she remembered I liked, the other with troubles, cigarettes I couldn't afford. She sat uninvited near me with her hand on mine warm as a summer square, and I, acclimated to cold, forgot how to breathe. Then she said,
You look like someone stole your dog. What is the matter?
It's nothing.
Yeah, sure, and I'm the Queen of England. Try again.
I don't have the money for the guitar. I tried everything, saving, asking around, even hoping for a miracle, but it's just not enough.
And that means, what? Game over.
If I don't get in the band now, it's done. My last chance, and I blew it.
George, listen to me. I know it feels like the universe is laughing in your face right now, but you do not quit. You've worked too hard for that.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, well, someone's got to remind you you're not as hopeless as you think.
What do you mean?
There are some jobs you can take on in the remaining 3 days that, according to my calculations, will earn you the required amount for a decent electric guitar.
Where can I find jobs like this?
I'll help you with that. The day before yesterday, the neighbor of the house across the street asked me if I knew anyone who could help him clean up his garden, which is full of leaves. It may have been 2 days since then, but his garden is still full of leaves. Mr. Derek is a gentleman and he will give you at least $30 for it.
$30 is not enough.
Don't be disappointed. There are other jobs that you can't imagine how much money they will leave you with.
Such as
Keeping Mr. Brown's 8-year-old son busy for a few hours. They say he's worn out with his mischief and that he pays well for a few hours of work.
You know what? You're starting to give me some ideas and I'm going to start running errands all over the neighborhood. All I wanted was to save up for this beauty, the Crimson Storm electric guitar. Just $180 short. Then Anna, my ever so helpful neighbor, convinced me that doing odd jobs around the neighborhood would get me there fast. What could go wrong? Oh, just everything. First job, clear Mr. Henderson's yard. Easy, right? I spent 3 hours piling leaves like my life depended on it. You've got to be kidding me.
You'll get it back together, won't you?
Oh, come on, George. It's just a little setback. Next job will be better.
Anna, if the next job involves me fighting Mother Nature, I quit.
Well, only up to the 3rd floor, right?
Don't break my eggs. They're from my hens. No, my cat's milk.
Oops. Can I get you another cat?
2 jobs in, and so far, I've only succeeded in ruining an old woman's breakfast.
Don't worry, the next one's babysitting. Easy money.
Why do I feel like you're leading me into another disaster?
Are you the babysitter? Does that seem right to you?
It looks to me like you're a cartoon character. Get ready.
Okay then, I'm hungry and I want a peanut butter, jelly, and pickle sandwich.
That's a crime against food.
Just do it. His dad pays well.
Can I play with this toy?
Max, no, that is for architecture school. I hate you. 3 minutes in, and I already regretted my life choices.
Checklist. Guitar equals $180. I have $2 and some coins with the head of Socrates. I'm close. Checkbox with check guitar equals $180. Checkbox with check to last 3 days without getting killed. To not be disappointed. To not cry in front of Anna, to remember that the universe conspirates. Unless the universe watches Netflix and doesn't care.
Do you want us to throw it away together or fix it together?
I don't know if any of this stuff is being made anymore.
You know, I read something in a book. When you want something very much,
Leave Paulo Coelho for another time.
the whole universe conspires to get it.
The universe didn't help me when the kid destroyed my model.
Maybe it's just waiting for you to trust it.
You and your universe. My luck has run out. I walk without a destination. Not to think, to forget, maybe even to get lost. What the heck? It was to not get angry. Maybe after all, the universe knows what it's doing. I didn't steal it. I didn't earn it either. It just found me. Like the universe finally said, "All right kid, you've suffered enough." So yeah, this is the story of how one flying banknote slapped me into destiny.
The legendary red axe plays like lightning.
If lightning got stuck in a sold-out loop. Wait, why's the case dusty?
That's because it's technically reserved for Danny, the very famous Danny.
Famous enough to need 2 similar guitars. Or just famous for your bad inventory system.
Mom, don't bully the man until we confirm Danny's address.
Look, kid, Danny's got an audition. You've got vibes. But hey, Aegean Labs makes these. Maybe they'll help.
Perfect. We'll skip the used car salesman markup.
This isn't goodbye. It's see you after I raid Danny's trash.
After a 20-minute walk, we were outside the Aegean Laboratories' musical instrument manufacturing workshops. The same dusty smell of sawdust and stubborn dreams was hanging in the air. I was brushing a hand over the famous red guitar as if it's Excalibur. Mom was standing next to me, hopeful but cautious. The owner of the laboratory was behind the counter, polishing a fretboard. So, we came back. And this time, we're not just dreaming. We've got the money, every last cent.
Back from the dead, huh? I'll admit, I didn't think I'd see you two again. But, the Red Beast is still here. And she's still hungry for a stage.
This time we won't get stuck in the details. Tell me how much the price has reached today.
As we agreed, $4.50. No games this time.
The owner of the lab picks up the phone with a, "Not again," look. As he listens, his face freezes. He says something and gives us a suspicious look and hangs up.
That was Hector Music Shop, again. He asked if the two weirdos with the miracle money showed up.
Miracle money? Wow, that's generous. I was going with cosmic accident. Look, sir, we're not here to cause trouble. We just want the guitar. And we have the price you asked.
Last week, you walked out of here with 17 euros and a broken heart. Now you've got 5 crisp €100 bills and a story about, what was it again?
A 50-kilometer wind, a rogue banknote, and a forehead that apparently attracts currency.
Right. You'll have to let me rub your forehead before I play the lottery. You know what? Screw Hector. He never smiled holding one of my guitars. You just did.
You serious? Like, really?
Yeah, take her. Go make her scream on stage, or at least in a garage. But play her.
Thank you, mister. You won't regret this.
I better not. And keep that forehead of yours out of trouble. All right?
Mom, either I'm blessed, or the weather's officially on my side.
Let's just hope it doesn't start raining grand pianos next.
And so, with this holy relic of rock and roll cradled in my arms, aka, the reason Mom's car now smells like poor life choices, we began our sacred journey home. Danny who?
Pirate Dad and the Second Chance. The Unexpected Return. That day, George was trying out for the first time the crimson red electric guitar that he had just purchased from the Aegean Laboratories musical instrument manufacturing workshops. As time passes, George puts his guitar in its case and heads for the exit. In an hour at the Odeon Cinema, the audition for the position of guitarist in the band Strangers was going to begin and he did not want to be late. He reaches for the doorknob when, bang, the door shakes. A man with a sailor hat, a fake parrot on his shoulder, and a sunburned face bursts in.
Georgie, my boy, it's me, your long-lost father.
Sir, my dad vanished 15 years ago. Are you sure you're not a lost tourist?
Amnesia. A giant wedding cake hit my head on a cruise ship. I've been living as Captain Manolis, the nicest pirate in Barbados.
Mom runs in, drops her tray of burnt cookies, and faints onto the couch like a soap opera star. George's dad digs through his bag, pulling out a crumpled photo of younger him holding a note.
Look, your mom's handwriting. She wrote me this 15 years ago.
The note reads, "I love you, but your steak needs more salt." Mom gasps, clutches her heart, and tackles him in a hug.
It's really you. Only I complained about your cooking like that.
Of course that's what convinced her. George checks his phone. Audition starts in 5 minutes. He sprints outside, but the bus drives away. Anna leans against his door, arms crossed.
Play for me, not the electric one, the old guitar. The one I heard through the walls.
George hesitates, then plays a sweet, acoustic tune. Anna's eyes glisten. Suddenly, she bolts inside, embarrassed. Did I just win an argument with music? As George turns to leave, Anna's balcony door flies open. A hand tosses a crumpled note at him. He uncrumples it. It's an audition postponement notice. Audition rescheduled. New slot. Saturday, 2 p.m. Don't mess up this time. Anna, P.S. Your dad's weird. I like him.
The morning of the rescheduled audition, I practiced with my father supervising me in my room.
Avast, ye tone-deaf landlubber. Ye play guitar like a scared seagull. A pirate attacks with confidence.
Dad, it's a jazz audition, not a mutiny.
All music is a mutiny. Now, storm the castle.
Suddenly a groan catches our attention. They both run to the kitchen. Mu-Ohm is lying on the couch, her face an odd shade of green. I run and sit next to her, while Dad opens a heavy, ancient-looking book titled 1001 Exotic Sea Side Effects.
George, don't worry, it's just the Mauritanian ship spice I ate yesterday.
AHA, page 42. Side effects of Atlantean polymorphous pepper. Stomach pain, and yellow skin.
Okay, focus. Audition in 30 minutes. Mom's probably not dying. And this time, nothing will go wrong. I triple-checked. Guitar, picks, sheet music, wait. Where are my anti-stress pills? Hey you, real quick. If you've ever almost missed a life-changing moment because your mom turned green, smash that like button. And follow for more stories like this.
I'll never know if your father truly cares, or if he just wants the treasure I hid in the canned food cupboard.
What? There's treasure in the canned food cupboard?
Go, George, your audition. I faked the spice sickness so your father would stop reading that ridiculous book and help you.
You're not dying?
Of course not, but you might if you miss that bus.
This isn't treasure. It's lemon sardines.
Exactly. The real treasure is family. Now go.
We're running now to the food truck mobile.
Remember, son, a true musician storms the stage like a pirate boarding a merchant ship. Pro tip, son, if we get pulled over, tell the cops we're a mobile theater performance.
That's not how laws work, Dad. Okay, folks, deep breath. I made it. No pirate dads steering food trucks into traffic. No mysteriously yellow moms. No ancient books predicting my doom. Just me, my guitar, and this very normal, very not cartoonish audition venue. Look, I know what you're thinking. George, your life is a literal meme. And fair, but from here on out, no more chaos. Just pure, unfiltered talent. Unless Dad smuggled himself in here as a human metronome. Stay tuned.
What's wrong with Danny? He never plays like that.
Why did you stop?
Sorry, I can't continue. Danny leaves the room while the students laugh ironically. George takes the stage and gives his performance. Lisa, who saw him arrive with the food truck, stands up and applauds excitedly.
Danny, what happened? I've never seen you lose your temper like this.
I just found out a while ago that I'm adopted.
So what about that? Does that make you any less Danny? They loved me just the way I am. And you're still the most talented guy the first know.
At the Strangers concert that takes place after 10 days, George makes an amazing appearance, having the famous singer Paul by his side. The concert ends triumphantly. The Strangers play their latest hit 3 times and retire as the crowd erupts in applause. George, still holding his guitar, exits through the backstage door. The night is clear with a glowing full moon. In front of him, a few steps away, stands Lisa. Right beside her is Anna. Lisa speaks first.
You were amazing, George. Simply magical.
George says a curt thank you and then turns to Anna. She looks at him with a strange look as if she's hiding a secret, and then says,
I'm so proud of you. And of course all you know Danny. Danny and I are together now.
Suddenly Danny steps out of the crowd and hugs her by the shoulders.
Wishing you both happiness.
He waves at them as they walk away hand in hand. He thinks back to the whole journey he started with, hunting for the guitar position in The Strangers just to impress Lisa. And now here he was in front of her, and he didn't know what to say. Lisa said,
You know, at the audition, the piece you played, your arrangement of Concierto de Renouez, it touched me deeply.
You recognized it? Not many people know the story behind it.
Yes, Joaquin Rodrigo wrote it after losing his child. His music carries both grief and hope. I felt all of it in your playing.
George smiles widely, feeling truly seen for the first time. Lisa gently takes his hand. They walk away together, side by side under the moonlit sky. The city's lights twinkle softly in the distance as they talk and laugh freely. Sometimes, the journey to find your true self leads you exactly where you were meant to be. If you enjoyed our story and want to experience even more magical adventures, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Exciting new series are on the way, from mind-blowing unexplained phenomena to hilarious funny stories you won't want to miss. Join our growing community and be the first to discover the unexpected. Laugh out loud and dream big. Glowing Star Guitar Bell, subscribe now. Your next adventure starts here.